Hey guys, it's Rob with Strategy Simple, and got another fun video for you today, or maybe not fun, but at least interesting, maybe a little terrifying. Today we're going to talk about lead response times, which is the speed to lead, right? And the dangers of misalignment. And this goes along the theme of talking about alignment between sales, marketing, business goals, and growth goals, right? So why is this important, right? If you don't respond in a timely fashion, the prospect lose interest. They forget, right? I jokingly say that we live in a clownfish society now. 3 to 5 seconds, right? Bloop, and it's gone. So, we've got to respond quickly. So I've got some interesting stats for you on this. This impacts revenue. This impacts cost. This impacts efficiency. This impacts the entire world, right? So let's kind of jump into it. Of course, I've got a slide presentation for you. So we'll go ahead and go to that. So lead response times, the dangers of misalignment. And we're going to talk about a couple of topics, and that is this one first. Speed matters, obviously, and then we're going to talk about measuring it, right? So I'm going to try and keep this video shorter today so that we can kind of jump into it. And with that said, let's go. This is the fact that in the stat. Now, one of the things I want to talk about, let's go to the stat first. The average first response time of B2B companies to their leads was 42 hours. This is from Harvard Business Review article, a study done by Dr. James Oldroyd. One of the things I want to talk about is, first of all, human nature, right? And everybody says, well, that study's 10 years old. Human nature doesn't change, okay? If anything, it's getting worse. So meaning, if people's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter, then this is even more important. So a lot of these studies, there's new studies going on all the time, but for the most part, you need to be focused on what I call human-centered marketing, right? Focusing on human nature, right? How do we like to do things? And oh, yes, new technologies and all these other things, but at the end of the day, people haven't changed that much, right? So, so this stat that it takes 42 hours, that's unacceptable. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I was at a conference in Las Vegas probably 8 years ago, and I was going out there with a very large company I was chief marketing officer for, and we went out there to look at call response, right? Having call centers in place. And we went out there with a theory, right? Our hypothesis is lead generation, responding to leads or inquiries, as long as you respond in the first day, that would be okay. And, this was in the insurance space. And what we found is okay, maybe 5 hours. If we respond in the first 5 hours, first 5 business hours, that'd be okay. We got into it and we realized that the big players in the market, right? The guys that were just crushing it on the insurance space, you know what their expected time to response was? 5 seconds. They wanted to respond in 5 seconds or less. 5 seconds! Really? So if you are in the P&C space and you're selling auto insurance, and you want to respond to internet leads and somebody responds on your site and you don't respond till the next day, they're already bound by the next guys. If you're selling software as a service, same thing. The speed to lead is really critical. So that's my story. So just remember 5 seconds. That's crazy town, right? All right, going through the next one. That same study, 23% of the companies never responded at all, okay? So let's go back. 42 hours was the average response time, and 23% never responded at all. How is this an alignment issue? That's the question, right? How is this an alignment issue? Because your sales team isn't following up. The expectations are not aligned as far as what they need to do and what the reality is. So this is an alignment issue, folks. This is a problem within our sales organizations, within our producers, whatever you call your sales team, this is a challenge, right? So if 23% of inbound leads are never followed up on, folks, that's a problem. Vendasta, software company, found that fast responders win 35 to 50% of the sales, right? And when I'm going to say fast, I'm going to say first responders win 35 to 50% of the sales. So if you're looking for a reason, that's a reason to respond quickly. Why? Because people want to get on with their lives, right? Calling after 30 minutes is 20 times 21 times less effective. That's a company called LeadSimple, again, on the software side. But 21 times, just waiting 30 minutes. Holy crap, folks. If you want to know why this is a problem, why this is an alignment issue, 21 times less effective, your sales rep doesn't think it's important, right? So let's talk real quick. Sales-generated leads versus inbound leads, right? Sales rep generates a lead. Oh, this is a great lead, right? Inbound lead, somebody sends in an inquiry. Chances are, I shared a stat the other day, 35, or up to 57% of the sales process is already done before they contact sales. They're already halfway done. Sales rep says, oh, I've got a lead. I found them, right? You don't know where they are. You've got to assume that if somebody makes an inquiry now, they're halfway through their sales process, their buying process, right? Whoa! So you better respond fairly quickly, all right? So with that said, let's get back to this, okay? Optimal time to respond, 2 to 5 minutes. Okay, Rob, that's great. How? Well, it's pretty simple. Automation. How about those PowerPoint graphics animations, huh? Right? Automation, folks, is the way that you do it. Now, not with a canned message and, hey, thanks for responding to our, submitting a response form. We'll be in touch soon. No. You make it conversational. Like, hey, we appreciate that. Know where they're coming from. Did they come from a lead form? Did they download a piece of content? Did they watch a video? You can build landing pages. The ability to build landing pages for your content is very simple. That way you know where they were. So if you responded to my video on this for lead response times, I could have a landing page that would have that. Now, I don't have one right now because I'm not trying to sell anything, right? I'm not trying to generate leads. Well, I am, but whatever. So automate it, folks. Make it conversational. And then as soon as you can, you have somebody follow up, right? Don't go into the lead box at the end of every week and download all the people that responded and then push it out. This needs to be done automatically. So when somebody submits a lead, it needs to go right to whoever's going to distribute those leads. They need to qualify it and they need to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over to my my presentation, and we're going to talk about this, right? So what do you do with it, right? So if somebody does that and they come in and it's automated, the first thing that you have to do is you've got to put together some processes to automate your processes, and you need to measure it. So when I'm talking about measure it, what does that mean, right? Well, measuring it is, and this is, you're going to measure how fast you're responding. The average time, number of minutes, hours, or date that it takes sales to follow up. Your producers are going to complain about this. I guarantee it. But you have to do it. Number of follow-ups attempted per lead. I tried to call up them six times. Average number of follow-up attempts it takes to convert. And the average sales cycle length, number of days, weeks, months, hopefully it's not years. But everybody's going to be different, right? But those stats, right, measuring this, average time it takes sales to follow up, the number of follow-ups attempted, the average number of follow attempts it takes to convert them into either a quote or a sale, and the average sales cycle length. How long does it take you to close them, right? Those are pretty good stats to be measuring, right? And just getting all of that technology in place really isn't that hard. Getting your sales team to actually measure this can be a challenge. I'm not oblivious to that. I'm not, it wasn't born at night, nor was it last night. So that's all I got for you today. Right, so I'm going to try and keep this one short. It's still 8.5 minutes long, but that's what we're talking about, folks. Lead response times. You have to have alignment between your sales team and the expectations and what is reality, right? If you don't follow up, you're losing revenue, period, right? Especially from inbound leads. The inbound leads are the best kind of leads. So, like I always say, if you like this content, let's get back over here, and if you like this content, I ask you to like it, leave me a comment, or share it with a friend. All right? That's all I got for you today, folks. Have a great day. Good sales, good selling. We'll talk with you soon. See you.